The critical care unit at Sick Kids is probably the worst place you want to be if you're a parent. It's also the best place to be if your kid is sick.
When we landed in the CCU, one of the first questions I always asked is, who's on this week? And if they said Des Bohn to me, immediate relief. I just felt better.
He just brings like a quiet confidence that the families really get a sense that he totally knows what he's talking about, and he'll bring his best game, as will the rest of the team.
There are many children who are alive today who are only really alive because of changes that Des introduced first in this hospital and then were accepted internationally.
He's somebody, despite his experience, he's never stopped and said, I'm done learning. He's never stopped and said, I'm just going to keep doing things the way I've always done them.
He has many nicknames. One of them is Dogmatic Des. He's a man that has very clearly thought through a lot of different processes and comes out with an idea that he will stick with and chew like a dog would chew a bone until he actually gets the answer.
The main things that Des Bohn has done for critical care in the hospital and around the world, quite frankly, the best management of congenital diaphragmatic hernia, the way to organize an ECMO, the initial management of children with diabetic ketoacidosis.
Des became obsessed about the kind of intravenous fluids that kids were receiving. And he was of the opinion, and quite correctly so, that children were not getting sufficient sodium, or salt as we would know it, in the fluids that they were giving intravenously. And as a result of this, a number of children actually went on to die. Des led the charge, and by that he became known as the pillar of salt. And he has changed the kind of fluids these kids receive. And it's had a huge impact, but something that is difficult to measure because it's such a subtle thing.
One of the most important and demanding parts of our job is end-of-life care, because this is intensive care, and this is where a lot of end-of-life care occurs. And how you do that, I think, is incredibly, just as important as how you manage children when they're acutely ill, because that's where I think the skill and experience really comes out.
This is what makes him the incredible man and person that he is to be able to reach out and bring compassion and humanity to a family that is at a moment of despair, the worst time anybody ever wants to go through.
Knowing that a doctor like that was on our side and was doing whatever he could to help our kid, our son, is pretty awesome.
The spirit of what he's helped create in this ICU, and through our fellowship program, what he's brought to units, countless ICUs around the world, will be his legacy.
Although Des is British, he actually likes to be identified as Irish. He has an obsession with rugby, and if you try and put all of those things together, it's difficult to know where exactly he comes from, although now he lives in Canada.
Des Bohn is a very stern face. He's a tall, imposing man, and he can be a bit scary, I gather. He's quite a devilish sense of humor, I would say. On a personal level, he's absolutely a gem to work with. Trainees and senior colleagues adore working with Des Bohn. And you know what? He's a fantastic cook.